Doubt and fear will literally block you from expressing yourself. It will block you from feeling confident. It'll block you from having magnetic energy. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 confidence secrets to actually having magnetic energy and transforming your confidence from the inside out. Now, the first one and the first thing we need to talk about is owning your own sense of self. Now, for this, remember this. People feel what you feel about you. So literally within our own bodies, how we are embodying ourselves, we're going out into the world, and we are connecting with other people. If we feel like we are sacrificing ourselves to make other people happy, people will feel that coming off of us. Now, this is an interesting perspective too, because I've done this energy thing, like there's this energy exercise that I did when I was at a life transformation place in Costa Rica that I found very interesting. Basically, what I'm going to show here, because I think a lot of you watching, you might identify as either empaths, maybe even people pleasers. That was what I used to identify it with. And what happens is the more we seek and the more we lose our own sense of frame, our own sense of self to make other people happy, the more we are letting go of the energy within our body, and it is actually diluting our own potency. Now, in this exercise that I did in Costa Rica, there was a lady that did she has like a book on energy and stuff like that, and she had us do this thing where we projected energy at her inside the room. We were projecting energy towards her at the front of the room, and she said she could literally feel it pushing her back. But then she said, instead, put the energy inside of your body. Bring the energy back to yourself. And as we all started to do this, she said she could feel the pull pulling her as almost like a magnet pulling her back. Now the thing is when we are embodied, when we are inside of our own frame, when we are present, we have magnetic energy. But when we seek validation, approval, or something from other people, they can feel that coming off of us, and it actually repels them. This is why codependency and neediness is one of the most unattractive things, because it is literally an energy of taking. I also know people in my own life that I've been friends with before that have that energy, and I know because I used to have it as well, where I was wanting other people's approval and validation, and I had to catch myself doing this, and I had to start bringing the energy back. Literally pull your energy back. Pull it back. And realize that when you pull your energy back, you have much more magnetic energy. And you are much more confident. So really the key, and you know how they say this like in attracting love and stuff like this, like one of the major keys is just owning yourself, being who you are meant to be. And owning it. And owning it. That is one of the major keys of this. Now, the word confidence comes from a Latin root, I think it's confidere or something like that, but it means trust. And what you're really learning how to do is how to trust your sense of self. The challenge is that if we do not have a sense of self because our sense of self is so expanded that we need everybody else to be and feel pleased and be happy, then we're not going to feel confident because there is no self-confidence. And maybe there's also an argument to be made that there's confidence of spirit that flows through, which is another conversation altogether as well. This isn't just confidence in the ego. This could be confidence in even the universe, in reality. But that's one of the major things about this. Own it. I think that's what this ascension we're going through right now is all about. It's about us tapping in and owning who we are, giving ourselves permission to be ourselves. And as we give ourselves permission to be it, it's like reality begins to change, because remember, the outer reality is just a reflection of the inner reality. And when I started making videos on YouTube in 2017, it changed my sense of identity. I started to be confident through taking action. And as I started to feel more confident, my energy changed, my videos changed, and more people could feel that off of me. But remember, it is not, what is it? Seeing is believing. See it to believe it. It is actually more so believe it to see it. So you must believe in yourself. but you must have a sense of self that you become present with, and you start to not abandon yourself for others, which is a common thing that some people do. Now, the second secret to owning your own confidence and having magnetic energy is security. Security. All right? And by security, I mean what you want to do is you want to turn your insecurities to that of something you become comfortable with. Feature your flaws. What you think of as a flaw, if you would just own it, it would be a magical ability and power. You know? There are many different ways of looking at this, but a lot of times people tend to go to like their physical traits. You know, it could be a freckle. There's a freckle or a mole right here, and it's like you might not own it or feel self-conscious of it, so then you go out and you're like, is people looking at my mole? Are people looking at my mole? Oh my God. And then you're putting out an energy of people are looking at my mole and they can feel that. And remember, people feel what you feel, but if you just owned your mole, you would have other people feeling that energy off of you, and they would either accept it or think it's the coolest thing ever. So it's about how you feel about it, but realize you can feature it. Feature your flaws. You will then turn them from insecurities into something you feel very secure about. And you can also use this for traits. My best friend Victor, he's more of an introvert. I'm more of an extrovert. So when we go out, he used to feel super self-conscious about how quiet he was. He would try to push himself to be like outgoing, but it just felt like a lot of energy for him. So what he ended up doing, he ended up just owning being an introvert. You want to know what happened? He became more extroverted. First off, that's what happened, which is very interesting. But secondly, he owned it, and he just accepted it within himself, and then he stopped feeling anxiety. He stopped caring, and his whole entire energy changed. So if you consider yourself shy, an introvert, if you have a freckle, if you're short, if you're too tall, whatever it is, own it. Just own it. And as you own it, you will feel differently, and you can say bye to that old version of self, okay? You can say Biden, okay? You can say Biden. Biden, all right? Now, the third confidence secret will completely transfer your life. Transfer your life or transform your life is frame. Frame. Being in your own frame. Now, in any relationship or dynamic, what you will notice is that there are different people that there's one person that always has the frame. Now, this doesn't mean you need to compete for it, you need to assert your own frame and never say no or give in to anything. But what I'm saying about this is similar to the first one, the people-pleasing mentality, the empaths. A lot of times we will move our own frame to make other people's happy rather than being embodied inside of our own frame. Our own frame is being in our body. It's leading in our own life, having a vision for something we want to create. Now, when I started to make videos on YouTube, I started to have a stronger frame. And by frame, I mean physical body because I was working out. I'm just kidding. Don't mean that. I mean frame, for example, let's say I'm making videos on YouTube every day and working my 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes, and I have friends that hit me up and say, hey, Aaron, come chill, come hang out, come do this, come do that, come smoke, whatever. And I'd be like, back in the day, I'd be like, oh my goodness, I feel so guilty. My friends aren't going to like me anymore. They're not going to accept me. But instead, what I did is I realized that I have this vision of this thing I'm creating. I'm doing YouTube videos. I'm so passionate about it. So I had no problem saying no. And I would say, no, I'm sorry. I'm actually focused on this vision. And when I did that, guess what happened? My confidence went up because I then had a vision for something I'm creating. And I didn't feel guilty, and I was so excited about what I was doing. So one of the reasons I'm sharing this with you is becoming confident will require you to set boundaries. And the boundaries will not only increase your own sense of confidence, but will even look more valuable. Because I'll tell you what, the more you value your own time, the more you will say no. I'll tell you that right now. The busier I've gotten, the more I've had to say no to things. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It just is. You value your time more to where you don't have time to do things you used to be able to do. So know that a part of your journey on this great awakening of your infinite self is to become aware of your own frame and your ability to say no. No, I will not go because I'm growing my own thing. I do not feel guilty about it. And as you learn this more and more, you will notice that your whole entire energy changes, which leads me to one of the most important points here, and that is integrity. Going inwards, integrity is that of being consistent with your word. Now, your word is bond. How many of you may have ever seen the book or read the book, The Four Agreements? Your word is bond. Being in integrity with your word is one of the main 4 agreements. And with that, imagine you say and tell yourself, I'm going to go do this thing. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. I haven't gone to the gym in a while. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. And then you don't go to the gym. You've then broken your word. Maybe you even told someone else you're going to the gym. You've broken your word and not done it. Guess what? You're not going to trust yourself. So part of integrity is being in alignment with what you say you're going to do. Be in alignment with the values you prefer to have. It is incredible how when you realize that how you do one thing is how you do everything. When I was selling women's shoes at Barney's, I would do this thing where I would like wrap someone's shoes in just such an eloquent way where I would like just over deliver, and I do one thing how I do everything, and they would really, it was interesting how much they appreciated it. And if you guys have ever gone to Japan, you go to Japan and you order like something, or you might order like a croissant. They will wrap that thing unlike anything you've ever seen anywhere else. They have like these origami wrapping skills that will just blow your mind. But it's so thoughtful, and it's like, it's just so, and if you walk around Japan, here's the crazy thing. They got no trash cans in Japan. Not one. I can't even find a trash can. And it's one of the cleanest cities you've ever been to. And I'm like, how is this even possible? Because they're in integrity with their own sense of like what they're consuming, and like they're not putting it, they're not like, here's like, oh, supersize, drink, throw, the environment, you know? So the reason I share that is because it's like you can live in integrity with your own values, but also with your word. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Even your own sense of environment. If I show you my room, my house right now is pretty clean. I keep my house clean because my external space is also a reflection of my internal space and vice versa. When I'm getting sloppy, my house be looking sloppy, all right? But integrity, the more you do what you say you're going to do, you follow that up, and the more how you do one thing is how you do everything, the more confident you will feel. I guarantee it. So that's one other way. You will have magnetic energy too. When you say you're going to do something and you do it, it's probably one of the most attractive things you could do. So start to own your own sense of what you say. And don't say, here's another thing too. One of the most things that are one of the most unattractive things, I have to catch myself doing this sometimes, is do not talk smack about other people. Do not talk behind someone else's back. Your words, we may not see it, but our words are actually, it's energy. And the words we say are going out into the world, and it is meeting the person you're talking smack about. And they're feeling that. And remember, what you put out is what you get back. So the more you talk smack about someone else, the more there's someone else, maybe a completely different person, talking smack about you. Because that's the energy that's being put out. And remember, your energy field goes around your body, and other people in our collective reality are feeling that and responding to it in that way. So one of the most attractive things you can do is not talk smack about people. If anything, talk good. Send them good, positive thoughts. It's attractive for you to talk good about someone. But when you're getting angry about something and there's something not working out in your reality, it's not attractive. Now, the fifth confidence secret that's completely transformed my life is learning a combination of two things. One, how to open up my own heart. The more I've opened up my own heart, the more confident I was, because then I've allowed spirit to flow through. I know it sounds kind of esoteric, but I had to consciously make the choice to open my heart, because for a long time, I think I had this heart walls around myself that kept me safe from intimacy, emotional availability, stuff like that. And there was a defining moment about a year ago where I just decided I'm going to open up my heart. I'm going to stop judging people. I'm going to start feeling connected. And really, I'm opening up my heart to new possibilities, to a new way of being. And what I would do is I put myself out there more. I would talk and share, get vulnerable, roll my heart on my sleeve in a way. But as I did that, I started to feel way more confident, because my heart was open. I was making a conscious choice to open my heart. And the thing is you can understand intellectually some of these confidence secrets, but when you're feeling from your heart energy that's being emanated out, people can feel that. The electromagnetic energy of your heart goes out thousands of times more than your head. It's like literally your head goes a couple feet out your body maybe. Your heart goes much more. And people feel that. Some people say BDE, big dick energy, right? What about BHE? All you spiritual people watching right now, let's just soak in the BHE, the big heart energy. Oh my God, this is so good. But really, energy goes out way more than your dick. If you're a guy or girl, I mean, I'm just saying. Or non-binary. Whatever you are, realize your heart energy is going to be felt more than anything else, okay? So one of the keys to this as well, to confidence in general, is realizing a lot of us have this inner child inside of us that doesn't feel confident because we didn't feel seen, heard, understood, or validated as kids. So one of the most powerful things you can do is to heal your own inner child. And one of the most powerful meditations I've ever made is on inner child healing, where we energetically go to Hawaii and we heal our own inner child. And what you could do is listen to this meditation for 21 days. Go to aarondowdy.com/child and check that out. And then also, there is a video on I go in detail, where it's like a 40-minute episode of me talking about all of this stuff in a deeper way. It's Confidence Secrets That Make You Magnetic AF. You can check this video out right here and watch it. It's so good. People feel what you feel about you. The energy inside of our bodies are contagious. And based on how we feel about ourselves, that energy is being emanated out, and other people are receiving